Okay, so we're going to start with sound here. So this is the mixer. And to power on the sound, you go down below the mixer, look for this little PA power sticker, and it's in the cabinet down here. If you open this cabinet, you'll see this power strip sort of thing. This is a sequencer that turns things on in a certain order, and you want to press the button that has a little white sticker on it. And then things will go click, 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 and just like that. The light will turn red, and then you'll see things start waking up. The mixer should turn on.
Yamaha.
So I made a scene for you in here, which basically takes like all the 72 different channels and kind of distills it down to what you really need, and makes it look a lot simpler. So we'll wait for this to warm up. Okay, the first thing that you'll see here is a login, and the login information is FOH dot. So front of house is what we call this position, and just dot. You can use the mixer without that login, but it just helps everything look correctly. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to look down here at the scene, and right now this is set for our live services scene. So to change that, you click the scene button, and then you use this pink knob to scroll, and then you look for the one that is yours. So once it's set to 117, which is the CBS fall, you click recall. So you do that, and then you have your scene here. So it's pretty simple. Just, I put two, I'll show you what the packs on the mics are in a second, but I put here two packs, two microphones, the piano if you need that, acoustic guitar if you need that, video, and then there's monitors we can set up on stage if you have musicians, but you're probably not going to need that right away. So it could be just as easy as that is maybe all you need. Yep. And I have everything set to just be on or off based on these faders. There's a lot, like all sorts of hidden settings and things that you can look through, but you don't need to touch any of that. It'll all work with just this fader. So that's the sound portion. Video pertains to anything that's coming out of that computer, which is the what we call the CG computer.
So they both on the same screen, or just one?
Yeah. So it's they're tied together. Yep. And I'll show you everything in that one soon. The next part is to get the microphones, and that's back over here. So this, let's see, all three of these drawers are different microphone things. This top one here is where you'll find the handheld microphones, and number one, number two, that correspond to that mic 1, mic 2 on the soundboard. So you take a microphone, say it's just number 1. Here we go. So you unscrew it, you open it up, and then these are all rechargeable batteries here. So you just pop out the rechargeable batteries, and you just pop them in the microphone, kind of persuade them in. Here we go. And then you close that, and you screw that back together, and then you have to make sure that the little switch down here, on-off switch, is just turned on. And then you got a microphone. And then if we go back to the soundboard, you should see that there'll be audio lighting up, even if the fader is down. And then if we turn the fader up, check. Whoa, I need to fix that.
Good echo. Wow. That's getting held Dirk's lecture. Kicking it
That's what I was thinking.
Moses. We read Isaiah.
That's awesome. Check. There we go. That's much better. Okay. Also on the soundboard here, I locked this scene, so if you make some changes and there's no possible way for you to like save it if it gets messed up, so you can just go back if something got messed up and then recall the scene all over again.
I watched the video, so I remember.
Oh yeah, nice. Good for you.
I remember halfway here.
Yeah.
Did you lock the change by that took the echo out? Or?
Yes. Yeah. I just saved that just right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I was like, oh, we need to fix that.
Let's go back to that. Yeah, no. Let's go back and visit. If there is an echo,
If we ever have
what you do is just put it down on the top here,
Well, no, it's one of those hidden settings down inside, but
Yeah.
So we
I'll
would
show
have
you
no
here.
luck doing it, or show us.
that it could be a phone call to me, but it's on this second level here. These things are just turned down, and so that'll be saved in there, so you won't have to.
Can we create the
Deal with
echo and then troubleshoot? I'm serious.
there's
Yeah.
I mean, that happens. I got phone calls from you guys.
That's funny.
That was kind of a messy system, actually.
All right,
Try.
go ahead and try. Yeah, these are the packs over on this side, and each of these are labeled poorly. I need to redo the labels. So that is a 1, if you can read that, and then we have 2, 3, 4. So these packs are how you would set up a like a headset microphone, something like this.
Our own. Would they work at all with your system?
No, you got to use the ones that
Yeah,
are here.
that's what I would
Yep.
kind of think. But
So these are the same sort of thing here. You just open this little front container, and then you have the 2 battery containers here, and then you just kind of undo the little microphone. You try not to tangle it all up, which they always do, but then you just plug this into the top, and it just clicks right in. And then when you put the batteries in, sometimes it depends on if the pack is on the on or off setting. You got to make sure it's just on the on setting. But these microphones and packs are all locked, so that once they're on, they can't get turned off. You have to take the batteries out to turn them off, so speakers can't.
So
It's all controlled back there.
perfect.
Yeah. So when you say you mic someone up beforehand, it's just always going to be on unless you turn it off on the soundboard.
we'll mic them off.
Yeah.
Do these
so
numbers
if we start
correspond
singing?
into the board?
Yes, they do.
Don't
Yep.
worry.
So 1 is on the board. Yep.
Great. That's easy.
Okay. So that's the mics, the packs, the soundboard. Usually with Rick's things is the clicker. And this clicker is synced in with the Propresenter system with the CG. So you can use this to click forward and click back slides. But just make sure that goes back with his stuff down in here. Okay, so on this computer over here, we have in Chrome specifically, there we are, in Chrome, maybe I'll show it like it's all totally closed down. And actually, let's pretend you got totally locked out of this computer as well. The login is this right down here. So if you need to. It's not very secure, but I forgot it all the time.
Quite a long password.
Yeah, it is, yeah. So if this is all closed, usually that window was open that we'll see. We just leave it open, but if it's closed, you just click on Chrome. And on the top, you've got left projector, right projector, rear projector, and these are all like web pages. So you open the left projector, you go to like a new tab, open right projector, you go to a new tab, you open rear projector. And then all these windows have a control setting, so you click projector control, and then you click, this is not focusing, there we go. Then you click on. Are you sure? Okay. And then it will turn I think the left projector on, and you should see it will flash blue in a second, or maybe, there it goes, yep. And so you do the same thing with the other one too. You go to this side, you click projector control, you click on, and then you click OK. And that will fire up. And then also with the rear one, same thing, you click projector control, you click on, yes, and that
And
should
that's for
fire
our
up.
friends over here.
Yep, the one in the back will wake up there shortly as well.
Where's the rear?
Oh, you'll see it.
Yep.
You were missing it because it wasn't.
Yeah. So it's none of these things are projecting anything. Just well, that one kind of is, but the front of house isn't doing anything yet. So we'll do that in a second. The other thing on this computer is the video switcher. So this is the software control for the video switcher. The actual physical video switcher is in a back room that's going to be locked in, but you won't have to do anything with it because this can control it from here. The video switcher is kind of set up into two separate tabs of video. So this Mix Effects 1 is what we use for the live stream during church, and Mix Effects 2 is set to change the video stream that goes to the house projectors. So that's what you need to know. You need to make sure to go to this Mix Effects 2 tab, and then you have to make sure that CG over here is red. Then it will display correctly. So those are the two things you have to just make sure you're in Mix FX 2 and that CG is red. And then you should be ready to project stuff, and we'll do that over on that computer. In this computer, you have a login. I put you on this side of the computer, so CBS. And if you forget the password, it's basically this without a space. So it's just CBS 2021. CBS 2021, all lowercase.
I thought that being independent.
All right. I'm just going to reopen the things that I had open for you to show some stuff. So it opened automatically Propresenter, but if it didn't, this is down here in the bottom, Propresenter. And this is all of our video stuff here is all connected to this program, so you have to use this program specifically. If you use like a PowerPoint, it can't show to any of the screens in here, because it's all coming out of one Ethernet cable out of this computer to the back room, and it's all digital. So there's not like an HDMI to plug into anything. But I'll show you how to put a PowerPoint into here so that you can project it. But even right now, I just have a sample like song in here. If you click this song and the lyrics, you'll see it will show up there. And this screen matches the house screens. That's how I have it set for you. And this is the same thing here too. So there's not a lot you can do. Like, say you have like a computer window open and you can't click and drag to make it project. So there's kind of a workaround for that, but it's kind of locked down so that it only can do this sort of thing. And so we built it that way for church services, so that nothing on accident can happen. Yeah. So to put a PowerPoint in here or to add a song or something like that, you're going to go up to this top corner here. You click the plus, and then you can do a new presentation. It's going to be loaded into the default library, but you can make a new one. So say you wanted to have a library of a bunch of songs, you can put the songs library, or like talks, you could have a talks library. And this, anything you put in here is just all your stuff. You won't see any of our stuff. We won't see your stuff. It's just all your own thing in here. So we'll do a new presentation. Then you got to fill this out. We'll call it test. And then you can also choose here what library. We only have default. So there we go. So we've got that. Then we're going to minimize this here. We're going to go to our PowerPoint. So I just got a test PowerPoint off the internet. If you have like a flash drive or something, you can just stick that in here, and then you would open that in Finder, and it would show up here on the side.
Do you want to try it?
Yeah, if you have one. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, great. So we just pop it down here.
I always got a lecture going, don't you?
I just copied the opener from the first day last year.
Oh, great. Yeah. So here it popped up on the side here is USB disk. So we click that. And let's see, it's loading. Good. Okay, so first class. So you can open it in this disk. You don't have to copy it over, because what we're going to do is we're going to make a bunch of JPEG pictures of the slides, and that's how you put it into Propresenter.
We're not gonna. Okay, I remember in the video it talked about the JPEG versus the other option where you could potentially edit it.
Yeah. So I don't think you can edit it. There's two ways to do it. I always do the JPEG way.
Okay.
But you can also I'll go back to the Propresenter window. In Propresenter, you can click File, you can click Import, and then you can click PowerPoint from there. So you can do it that way, and then you can choose from your USB disk, first class, and then import it.
So can we, does that mean will the animated slides be animated, or they won't?
I don't think they will.
Oh, and we have done that, haven't we? Yeah. Rats.
You're gonna have to up your PowerPoint to a magical art.
Okay, so for some reason it couldn't do that. So we're just going to do it the other way that I usually do it.
And when you're saying you couldn't do it that
It said there was an error, like this
importing
this
that
whole
particular
file import PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Just now it didn't do it. So the way that I do it is I just open it
Yeah.
on PowerPoint. Okay. I think I opened it.
Oh, that's weird.
Maybe it's my file.
Oh, it's spinning.
It's spinning. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
I'm not signed into Office in here, but I don't think I'll need to be because it'll still allow you to do the exporting and things, I'm pretty sure, without.
Yeah.
So it would be, oh, no, it doesn't. Okay.
We'll warm up.
Okay, so you do here in PowerPoint, you click File, and then you click Export,
Okay.
and then we're going to export it as a JPEG. And then we're going to do every slide.
That's
So
what you want to do at home.
Click, yep, so you can export. And then it should pop up and say,
I usually do it here.
Yeah.
That's good too.
It's gonna be a problem.
You always bring your flash.
We can do it.
Be good.
this must be a pretty like rich PowerPoint or heavy PowerPoint. It's
Well, it's got a lot of images.
yeah, sure. So then it gives you this pop-up here. Each slide and presentation was saved as a separate file on the disk, the USB disk.
Import it by file name. Perfect.
So then we can close this because we don't need it. And then it should just give you the same
that
name
new
of your
folder?
PowerPoint is
Yeah.
this new folder. And then you have a whole bunch of JPEGs. So I usually just do a list here, and then I just do Command A for getting all of them, and then you just click and drag them. Whoop! Come on, buddy, come back. Oh, I might need to do that again. Click and drag them in here, and then they'll all show up. Now, here's a kind of a goofy. Yeah, and then you get that just like that. A kind of a goofy thing here is that if we did this again, so let's do another new presentation, and we'll do it test 2. Okay, so we've got this here, and then we say you have your next week's of slides are right here. You pull this in here. You're gonna need to answer a question.
Or no.
Well, or not. I'm trying to think how I can.
Yeah.
So I'll use this sample. When you pull in another set of slides that have the same name, it'll all say slide 1, slide 2, slide 3. It'll say, do you want to write over the previous slides? Do you want to save a new version? Or do you want to use the existing? And you want to click new version, and it will make it as like slide 1.1 or slide 2.1 or something like that. And so it'll just give you a new version, and you won't mess up previous ones that you have. So yeah, you'll be able to do that. It'll just be a little pop-up when you drag your slides in that will tell you that, and you want to click new version. Great, so this is your default stuff here, and on the back wall it will show
Oh, current and next.
current and next slide. Yeah, and you can change that.
We won't.
Okay, great.
You'll love it.
But yeah, that's great. We'll just keep it set
That
just
is
like
my
that.
favorite setting.
Yeah, just current and next slide. And when you run the clicker, it'll automatically just advance slides here when you click.
Clicker, if you just turn the clicker on and it.
There's no turn on or anything. It's this little unit right here that's plugged into the computer, and it just sits here.
That's always on.
Yeah, it's always on and always connected.
It's in the right
And-
drawer
Use the
there.
clicker, come up
Yep.
there, right?
Yeah, why don't you grab it and click? We'll just make sure that that's.
Cool.
Nice.
All right.
The only.
Nice range.
Oh, it's got great range. The only funky thing about that clicker is that if you are like by chance you get bored and you open up Chrome and you're like doing some other stuff, it's not going to work.
Disabled.
It's disabled because you're on a different window now. So you have to be on the Propresenter window.
I think with these guys speaking, we don't get bored.
Hey, guys.
All right, so
Well,
Who's in charge of it? Oh.
you start with your DVD.
we don't have it.
You pop it into this guy down
That's
here,
the whole thing. That's why we're using this year.
and then it probably, once you pop your DVD into the drive, it'll probably open up on the screen here, and then we need to close it. but you kind of have to wait for it. There it goes. You kind of have to wait for it to open first, because otherwise it gets kind of angry. So we'll just wait for it. Okay, so no, we're going to click escape. And we're going to close this. There we go. And then we're going to use this program down here called Handbrake, which is a free program that allows you to rip stuff off of DVDs.
Oh, okay.
So there's probably tutorials about that on the web too, but I'll show you here. So we click Handbrake. Do I want it? Let's do it later. Yeah, you have to rip it to a file and then put the file into Propresenter. So everything has to end in Propresenter.
Yeah.
There's no other way.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so you get a bunch of choices here about where to take something from. You're going to find your DVD, which would be on the side here. You click the DVD. And then you have a couple different, you're looking at the files in the DVD, audio and video. I assume we're going to want video. Now, it's also sometimes helpful to change the view of this so you get a little preview, but it is also helpful. These are all the different chapters, the 2 and the 3 and the 4.
15 songs or so.
Yeah, so that must be all the different
Or
chapters. And then, actually, I want to look at this as a list. There we go. And then you can look for the numbers to be larger in the megabytes, and that will be the actual video files. And then you can also see, if you go super close, that there's a little cone on there that stands for the VLC media player. That shows that is a video file that would be played by that media player. But anyway, so you look and you say, okay, I think this is song 1. So we click on that. It's 340 megabytes. That looks about right. Okay, so we're going to open that. And it will say, no, you can't do this. And you say, yes, I can. And you say attempt to scan, and then it will take a minute just scanning it. So we found out in Celebrate Recovery that you want to do this probably more than 15 minutes ahead of time.
It's going to be about a 2-minute, 3-minute rip for sure.
Yeah.
So can you put a bunch
Real deep if you want to see a live.
Yeah, really. Okay, so now we have the track ready to rip here, and you can see that it's a 6-minute track, so it must just be probably one song. MP4 file is fine. Yep, that's better than any of those other ones I don't recognize. The other thing that sometimes I check is subtitles. Good. You definitely want none, because sometimes if there's subtitles, it'll like take forever to rip it in, because it's a very large file for some reason when there's subtitles. But there's not, so there's that. Down here, this is what the file name is going to be, and you can decide where that goes. Right now it's going to drop into movies, but we don't want that. Let's browse, and let's make it go to desktop. And then we'll click choose. Okay, so now you can tell that it's going to desktop. I don't know why this says Mosaic here. Mosaic was the other youth ministry that was using this account before you. So I changed all the names and stuff over today, and I cleared all their files, but apparently it still says Mosaic. So that's okay. Just pretend you're Mosaic. And then up here at the top, you click Start, and then it will start ripping. And then, oh, it does have one subtitles track. That's pretty funny. Oh, it's pretty fast, though. I'll tell you how fast it goes. So now you got your video file right here, and let's say we want to put it right before the first slide here, and we're just going to put it in line with all the slides. You click it, and do you want it to go on that slide? No, not really. I want it to go between or before. I'm just going to pop it right in between, and it should just import there. There we go. So it's right here. I'll click it, but could you turn down the video fader just a little bit on that?
here?
Yep, that one. Because perfect. It's gonna be kind of loud, I think.
Train now.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
So
yeah,
to play a video in here, all you do is just you know what? There's a video there because it's got a timestamp on it, right? 7:27, and you just click it, and it'll play. Interesting. Oh, we must have ripped the title sequence.
Oh, we ripped the...
That's funny. Yeah, okay. So we just ripped the title. So that's also why it's good to know your DVD and know what chapter you're shooting for, because apparently we just ripped the title. So there's no sound on this, which is too bad. If there's sound, you'd see it kind of wake up these meters on the side here. And you'll also want to make sure that the setting up here, the sound setting, is set to Dante Virtual Sound Card. That's a way for the sound to go digitally from here to the soundboard.
Yes.
Yeah, because it could be set to all sorts of different things. It could be set to its own speakers, so it'll come out of the computer speakers, but then it won't go to the soundboard. You want it to be set to this Dante Virtual Sound Card.
I would say that's a key point of all the things we've struggled with when we're trying to get sound out. That if we're working from there, I mean, again, that's only if you're
So you
displaying
just
a video
pulled
on
the title.
screen.
You didn't pull a song in.
No, I guess not.
Okay.
It's just 7 minutes of title.
Okay.
So here's one thing that's also good to know too. When you click and drag a song into here, it's automatically set to loop. And that's kind of frustrating when you need to like jump ahead before it loops back. There's a way to change that. And you right click the slide. You go to Inspector where you have a bunch of options. And then you've got this inspector here. You go to the properties. Here you can set actually how long you want the video to play. If you want it to come, if you want to start. Let's do that. That's the in point towards the end, and let's set the out point right there. And you're only going to play. You're only going to play just a little bit of it. You know, so you can mess with files in here too, which is nice. But you go to properties, and you say, I want you to. Oh, it did just default to stop. That's nice. Otherwise, most of the time it defaults to loop. But it's nicer to have it stop. So then when the video plays, it just stops. If you ever want to clear a screen, say you just need to cut away from this and do something different, you can clear any of these. These are all layers in Propresenter. These are the two layers that are active right now, so you can clear one or the other, or you can press on the edge, clear all, and it clears everything. And you're just back to black.